Well, today we're going to install the crossbars, the Honda crossbars that make up the rack at the top, so I can put a kayak on the top of the Passport. And I just want to show that this hopefully is not a very difficult job, and if you're thinking about taking it on, you can kind of see how it works out for me and decide if it's what you want to do. So we're going to get into a little bit of the details. The other thing we're going to install is the molly panels in the back. These are two parts that I ordered for mine, and here they are in the box. Molly panels are these pieces right here. This comes plastic from the factory. The molly panels are actually metal, and basically you got 4 screws. So I'm going to go ahead and get the size of the Allen head set up here and let you know about that, and then we'll do that probably first, and then we'll work on the crossbars on the top. A couple of things you're going to need for this project is you're going to need some kind of a ladder to get up on the side, get up on your roof to do your crossbars. It needs to be high enough that you can get up pretty high. This here's got 3 steps. You can use a normal step ladder, but this here works out good for me because it has a little platform. You're going to need probably two small hand towels to put on the top to keep from scratching the top. And you're also going to need some kind of star wrench like this here. This actually is a bit, and it's sitting in a 1/4 inch socket there, so I can ratchet that. But that should be enough to get this project done. Like I say, the actual crossbars, which is right here, they come with basically 8 of these screws with the hex head. And basically your molly panels looks like you're using the same screws for your molly panels to take those off. And they have instructions in here, but we're going to start off with the molly panels, and we'll get started with that, and then we'll work on to the crossbars. So the actual user manual that comes with this doesn't really give you any instructions. Basically, it just tells you what you shouldn't do as far as putting strapping stuff on here too aggressively, and it just basically gives you a bunch of warnings, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Here's the actual panel. The panel is the same for either the right or left side. You want the mountains. Let me see how that works. Yeah, it looks like the mountains go down. So this is going to be your side that goes down with your mountains. And then the rounded side goes down, and the squared off side goes up. And you just have your 4 screws here. So we're going to take that loose and install this in place. I did already break these loose a little bit because they were pretty snug on there. Not sure if I'll snug them down that tight again. It's probably got a nut plate behind there. I don't want to strip that out, but they need to be snugged down pretty good, but not too tight. Okay, these things are pretty long-winded. I always recommend that you use a manual device, because you can strip stuff out using a device like this to do anything like this, because it's delicate plastic. But I've already loosened these down. I'm going to go ahead and use my actual mechanical device to take these the rest of the way out. But again, if you're not comfortable with this, it can easily strip out these things. You definitely want to be careful. Just basically, you never want to torque your final torque, and you definitely don't want to bring it out the first time using a mechanical device. But I'm going to use this just to speed it up a little bit. So once you get those loose, you should be able to just jiggle this a little bit, and it should pull right loose like that. Here you go. You might want to save your box so that way you can store these. I don't know why you'd want to go back to these, but if somebody buys a car again, they might want this type on there instead of the metal ones. Got those finger tight in there. I'm going to use my row will be to put it down, just down to the, not all the way down, but partial way down. Then I'll do my manual ratchet to put them in the rest of the way. You want to make these nice and snug, but not overly, so you can kind of just basically good and tight. And these things are built to really sturdy. They're nice and metal. It's going to be nice to have these because, like I say, I can put stuff on the outside. The main thing when you put stuff on the outside, remember that if you want to lift this cargo section up, it can bang into the stuff that you have on there, so just keep that in mind. So got that first one installed. Got my stuff stashed away. That's pretty much my maintenance stuff that I use. Got a jumper cables and stuff like that, and an extra flashlight. Like I say, it can strap on here now because it's a metal, so I can strap that in there. And that side's going to be used pretty much full most of the time. I'm not going to bore you with putting the other one on. Just going to be the same opposite from the other one, but then we'll move on to the crossbars on the rack next. So you'll see there, I had starting off, you'll have these two screws that are already in there, and these are just plastic screws that are in there just to fill the holes. So you want to take these out, and then you're going to be using the actual metal screws that actually have a little bit of Loctite put on there to keep it from backing out. But you're going to take those four screws. Like I said, there's two more up front for that one, two back here, and then on the opposite side. But you got to take those out first. And as with the instruction that was in the MOLLE panels, with the actual crossbars, you have this instruction manual that pretty much tells you not a whole lot of nothing. I'll show you here. It doesn't show you how to put it on or anything. It just gives you some warnings. One thing to note on here, it says in a warning, maximum cargo weight capacity must not exceed 165 pounds. So that's a good number to know. You never want to exceed 165 pounds across both crossbars. So that's something good to know. Other than that, instruction manual, it's not that important. And it looks like these bars are exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about one being the front, one being the back. So after getting this out of the cardboard box, I do notice that it's marked with R on this side and L on this side. Now again, this is something that you have to use your brains about, I guess. And normally people, you look at the car from different angles. It depends on what side's the right and what side's the left. And I'm going to use my aircraft knowledge in that when you're sitting in the airplane, or in this case sitting in your car, everything to this side is left and everything to that side's right. So that's the way I'm going to do it, and we'll see if that gets me in trouble or if that works out right, but that's what I'm going to assume. So once you get that in place, you want to get a screw started on each side. And when I mean each side, I mean one on this side and then one over on the far side. You want to get those two started first and then torque them down. When you're tightening these up, you don't want to get too tight again. You just want to get them snug. You want to be careful because those star wrenches will strip out if you're not slow at getting the last part in. And you'll get to this point here where it's starting to snug up. You just want to hold it real steady and just do a nice firm tight at the end. Okay, that's the last of the 8 bolts. That's the front forward there. Looks like it snugged them down pretty good. I told you about the left and right. I don't really think it matters. Like I say, I put my left to the driver's side and my right to the passenger side, but I don't really think there's a lot of flexibility in these, and it doesn't really seem to matter. One bonus feature I'm going to throw in here now, I'm going to tell you not going to give you details on the brake controller, but I just want to tell you, if you got your own brake controller and you get the proper harness, like I say, you're going to have to find one that'll work for the Honda Passport. They have a little pigtail that they give you when you buy the vehicle, but that one needs to be spliced in. But if, in my case, I got my brake controller here, and it actually came out my Ridgeline, and my harness actually worked. So what I'm going to show you is I actually had someone else do this, but it was relatively easy. And basically, the plug you need to plug into is behind this panel right here where your hood latch is. So you need to remove this piece. It just snaps off. You can pretty much grab it, but you can use the plastic things to pull it off. I'm not going to do it right now. Pull this off, and there's basically a gray connector up here you plug in. It should match up, and then you can install it as you need. And then what you also have to do is you have to go up front here to the hood, get up in here, and this is where you get supplied a actual fuse. So basically you unsnap these two snaps here and here, pull this off here, and you install, let me see if I can find the one I installed it in. Okay, he actually installed it backwards just so I know which one. The way it explains it here is actually in this number 13 spot here. It's a 20 amp, and it says TRL brake. See right, I can't really see it, but there it is right there. And again, it's the one that's put in backwards from the others here between this 15 and that 20 amp fuse. But that one comes with your actual harness that comes with your vehicle. So that's where you want to plug that in. Again, don't do this if you don't have any experience with this kind of stuff. But if you want to go ahead and do that, I watched him do it. After seeing him do it, I was like, man, I should have just done that myself. So maybe this will help you in actually putting in your own. But make sure you have the proper harness for your brake controller. So I got both those items installed. Like I say, if you don't have any mechanical abilities at all, you might want to try this. But if you've got any kind of abilities at all, you should be able to do this. Doesn't take too long. I took it slow just to make sure I didn't scratch anything up. Definitely don't want to mess up a new car. And this is the final results on the crossbars. And like I say, we got those MOLLE panels installed, and it was relatively easy to knock out those MOLLE panels as well. But that's about all I have for this video. And if you've got any comments about other installs you've done, let me know. We'll see you again on another one of these videos.